Senator Nelson.
Members, this is a bill. While you might not have heard of the bill number before, the contents of the bill are certainly something that you have most likely heard over and over from your school districts. I'll call my testifiers up as I speak to the bill. We're going to try and get caught up on time here just a tad. Senate File 1556 increases the basic per pupil formula allowance by 2% in each of the next 2 years. So that would be 2% in year one carried over on the base plus an additional 2% or 6% over the biennium. That would take the current $6,067 per pupil funding to $6,188 in fiscal year 18 and to $6,312 in fiscal year 19. This is the amount of increase that was in the last omnibus education finance bill approved in 2015. It is also the amount proposed in the governor's recent education budget. The total cost of the 2+2% increase is $371 million over the biennium. I know that this is the thing that I have heard most from school districts across the state. I'll let my testifiers speak to this precisely. So, Mr. Chair, if you'd like to recognize our testifiers.
My name is John Vento. I am currently the Vice Chair of the Robbinsdale Area School Board, and I am also the Chairperson of the Association of Metropolitan School Districts. First off, I want to thank Senator Nelson for proposing a 2-and-2 on the current formula. My district, Robbinsdale Area Schools, is faced with a shortfall of $6.8 million in the upcoming school year. We are working on a budget assumption only of 1 and 1. So the additional percentage that Senator Nelson is proposing here over there will help us realign and alleviate about $750,000 in our current budget. Well, that still does leave us with a $6 million shortfall. We are we are working very hard to keep these cuts and these reallocations away from our students and our classrooms. Most of our alignment will affect the resources that support both students, i.e. counseling, nursing, teachers on special assignment. As we move forward, we please ask the committee and members of the Senate to remember that the formula still is not tied to inflation, and we have been asked, as many school districts across the state, to do more and less despite formula increases in the past year. We strongly support the 2-and-2, but also understand that we are still 8.5% short from 2003 adjusted for inflation, which is about $550 per student. Well, again, we applaud the 2-and-2 on the formula for the upcoming school year. We understand that there is more to be done in this area. Thank you, Senator Nelson.
Thank you, Mr. Vento. Ms. Anderson.
Thank you so much, Senator. Good afternoon. Thank you to the chairs and to members of the committee. I'm Betsy Anderson from the Hopkins School Board. I'm in my 3rd term on the Hopkins School Board, and our Legislative Action Coalition created a magnet a few years ago for our state legislators that reminds all of them and all of us about the constitutional obligation that the legislature has to public schools. It is the duty of the legislature to establish a general and uniform system of public schools. The legislature shall make provisions by taxation or otherwise as will secure a thorough and efficient system of public schools. So this is one of only 2 items that's actually written into our Constitution that the legislature is obligated to recognize and to be accountable to. I would echo everything that my colleague John Vento said about the 2-and-2 being an incredible need for public schools right now in Minnesota. Hopkins right now also is budgeting with the assumption of 1 and 1 and making cuts because of that. So a 2-and-2 is going to help us. It's not going to eliminate all of those cuts for next year, but it's going to help us get to the next school year. At least 2% is what's going to be necessary right now for students in Minnesota. We've had over a decade of not keeping up with inflation as far as funding is concerned, and now is the time to make a commitment to public schools and the 850,000 students in Minnesota that attend those schools. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mr. Trigstead, or Dr. Trigstead, if I recall.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. My name is Kurt Trigstead. I'm the superintendent of Eden Prairie Schools and president-elect of MASA. I want to thank you for this opportunity to testify today. On behalf of MASA and its membership, we greatly appreciate Senator Nelson moving forward a bill that would provide 2% per year on the general aid formula. It's the minimum amount needed to close the projected rate of inflation. MASA's current legislative platform does call for a 3% increase to the formula each year. I, like other superintendents in the state, are grateful for the financial support provided in recent years. However, as it's been stated, the basic education formula is $550 behind if we would have kept pace with inflation. Simply said, the increases provided and greatly appreciated have not been enough to stem the tide of reductions for many districts. Districts are asked to do more with relatively less funding each year. When I came to Eden Prairie 5 years ago, our district showed some of the highest elementary class sizes in the metro area, and I needed to close a $2 million gap each year. About that same time, a new strategic plan that focused on each student was honed, and we honed in on reading at grade level by the end of grade 3. It's the key to success for each student. We paid close attention to the achievement gap and looked for high leverage strategies to meet the needs of our students. We also recognize that without the embedded professional development, our staff would not improve their craft to the level that was needed to move each child to their potential. None of these things come without a price tag. Support through the formula is so important. We're so unfortunate that our community supported an operating levy in 2014. It stabilized our finances and allowed us to reduce class sizes in grades 1 and 2. Because of increased general aid formula in the last biennium, our district has lowered our second grade class sizes, and we hope to lower third grade class sizes this year. We've seen a lot of improvement in our reading scores in the last years. Formula support makes each class size reduction that much easier to do. And if we concentrate on funding to enhance those local programs, we believe the most effective work will happen for our students. We do support Senator Nelson's bill adding 2% to the general aid formula each year of the biennium. Please don't divert this financial support away from Minnesota schools at a time when it's needed the most. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Do we have Mr. Pyan to testify? Thank you. Welcome to the committee. Please state your name for the record and begin when you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the Senate E12 Finance Committee. My name is Dan Pyan. I serve as the Director of Finance and Operations for South Washington County Schools. And I also serve as the Chair of the Minnesota Association of School Business Officials, also known as MASBO. Thank you for allowing me to testify on behalf of this bill, which would increase the basic revenue formula by 2% in fiscal 18 and fiscal 19. The two most pivotal factors in determining the school district, Minnesota school district's revenue are the basic funding formula amount and a district's student enrollment. The product of these two account for about 56% of the school district's operating revenue. If all the other revenue sources stay the same, such as special ed aid or title dollars, fees, admissions, things like that, a 2% increase in the formula would increase the total general fund revenue of a school district by slightly more than 1%, which is insufficient to cover increased operating costs. That results in compromising valuable programs such as the arts and physical education and also increasing class size. And you've heard this number many times already today. The formula is $550 per pupil behind inflation since 2003. So we're annually facing the prospect of seeking voter-approved operating referendums, which increases property tax. So MASBO has always proposed to increase the formula not only by 2%, but also an additional $138 per pupil to make up for the inflationary loss. But, however, accountants, we're pragmatic, we know. And we're appreciative of a 2% increase because we know there's not always that much money to go around. We'd like to have a lot, but as I said, we're pragmatic. So as we prepare our budgets and our forecasts, we know that a 2% increase will not be enough to sustain all programs. However, we will make the reductions necessary to make it work. And as we look at the formula, and at some point we would like to see the formula, equal what it actually costs to educate a child in Minnesota. This is a great step to getting closer to that. And I was just looking at some numbers today, and as we look at the formula as it's set now, basically, for every 1% on the formula, it equals a teacher per 1,000 kids in your district. For instance, if we lost 2%, if we lost, in South Washington County schools, we have 18,000 students, a reduction of 1% in the formula, we'll be losing 18 teachers. So at this point, 2% is good, but we would at some point like it to equal the cost of educating a child in Minnesota. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Senator Nelson or any of the testifiers? Senator Thompsoni.
Mr. Chairman, Senator Nelson, thank you for bringing this forward. I totally agree with you. And how do we get one of those magnets? We get one. All right.
Well, Senator Nelson, after my first 2 years or biennium in this body, and having come from the local level, I think it's encouraging to see finally a proposal of 2 and 2 after the governor, the last 2 budget cycles, only proposed 1 and 1 each time. I know it's nice to see that he's finally starting to focus on money in the classroom rather than extra programs, new entitlements going forward, and taking care of the basic needs first. So thank you for bringing us.
Final comments?
Please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members, this is the bread and butter of school finance, and it is essential that we fund a minimum of 2 and 2 on the formula. As you have heard, I'm sure, from your districts, as I have, that it is the most fair way to fund education. It is every student receives the same amount, regardless of what zip code they live in. Our school districts, our teachers like it because it is the most flexible. When we add funds to different categorical aids, they come with strings about how they can be used. This is the type of funding that allows your school district to best use those dollars to best serve their students and achieve the greatest gains. And you've heard that without adequate funding, it can lead to things like increasing the operating levy, which equals property tax increases, increasing class sizes, and teacher cuts, things that we should stay away from. And I think with a $1.65 billion surplus, it is incumbent upon us to fund those very basic education needs. And so I am glad to renew my motion to fund, or I should say, to move Senate File 1556 and lay over for possible inclusion in the omnibus bill.
Senate File 1556 will be laid over for possible inclusion. Thank you, Senator Nelson. Chamberlain, Senate File 1252.